Today I'm here to talk to you about the 7 mistakes you want to avoid when you are filling out the K1, K2, or K3 visa petition with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service. Hello everyone, my name is Angelo and I am a passport brother who brought his fiancee from Vietnam to come live with him in the United States. We got married and now we are preparing for the next stage of our life over the next few years here in the States, and then ultimately we will move back to Southeast Asia where we will live happily in retirement. I am also a strong advocate for men all over the world who still want a traditional wife and a traditional marriage in this modern era of feminism and modern women. Today I'm here to talk to you about the 7 mistakes you want to avoid when you are filling out the K1, K2, or K3 visa petition with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service. I'm coming to you as a person who's actually gone through the K1 visa process, also known as the fiancee visa process, twice. As someone who's gone through the process twice, I have a pretty good grasp of what mistakes to avoid when you're filling out your petition for the K1, K2, or K3 visa process with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. Now, the first mistake that you want to avoid is, number one, you want to avoid filing too early. And by that, I mean, once you've met your fiance and you realize that there's chemistry and you guys want to move on to the next step, whatever that may be, whether it's engagement or marriage, you want to stop, take a deep breath, and wait. And you want to pause and figure out the best way to get from point A to point B. Far too many times, people rush through the process. They fall in love, they get butterflies, they sit down and they start filling out this long, very difficult, challenging petition, which is the I-129F form, and then they are lost. So you don't want to do that, because there are a few things that you want to do to make sure you have the best opportunity to have your petition approved and sent on to the National Visa Center. And you can't do that if you rush. So you want to wait first, and then you want to plan and you want to strategize. You want to get under your belt the most visits to your fiance's home country as possible. Now, however you want to arrange that, you can do, but you want to get the most visits. And with those visits, you want to have all your travel accommodations, receipts from those, receipts from hotels, some airline fees, for dinner fees, lunch, going out to coffee, going out to the club, whatever it is. You want to take your time to plan and strategize all of this. And then along with that, you just want to grab a simple piece of paper. You can open a Google document, and you just want to start logging all of your forms of communications and the dates and the approximate times if you want. But you want to have this information because at some point you will need to refer to it. And then later on, you will need to provide it. So that's why you don't want to file too early when you don't have enough of this information to attach to your petition. Number 2, you want to avoid filing before you document anything. And that means that you've gone through the process, you've met your fiance, you decided that you want to move on with this thing, and then you file, and then you realize that you have no supporting documents whatsoever. This kind of ties into the first item, but the source material that you need to provide is actually government documents that you need to go out to these various agencies and get them or have them printed out copies and things like that so that you can attach it to your petition. So you do not want to file before you started this process of listing all of the government agencies that you need to contact, then reaching out to those agencies to get the materials, the birth certificates, the marriage licenses, the divorce decrees, all of these documents that will take time for you to get. You don't want to file until you have those in your hand. 3, you don't want to get caught up in this unsolicited advice that you are guaranteed to receive from newbies who've never gone through the process, but they have a ton of horror stories from family, friends, and others about going through the K1, K2, or K3 visa process. Don't bother listening to them. Don't entertain them. Every case is different. And far too often, one person out there has gone through some situation, and their situation is a little bit more challenging than others, but they won't share with you the details or the errors or the mistakes that they made that caused that situation to be different. They are just going to cry and moan and groan that their case took too long, or they had too many problems, or something like that. So don't entertain unsolicited advice from newbies who have not gone through the K1, K2, or K3 visa process. 9 times out of 10, they don't know what they're talking about. So you need to reject their advice. Okay, here's another mistake that you want to avoid. Number 4 is believing the process will be short because someone told you that it would be. Now, that's a mistake that my fiance and we made because when we started our process early in 2018, we were excited and, we were ready to go. And I made a habit of checking the USCIS website for the list of the processing times. And the processing times gave us a decent range of how long it was going to take. It was between, I think at the time, it was like 5 to 9 months. But we had all these people around us who kept saying, oh, no. It takes only 2 months. It takes only 3 months. No, you'll have it done in 5 months. And you know what it ended up taking? It ended up taking 12 months for us to get from the time we submitted the petition to the time that we got our first interview appointment. So we caused ourselves a lot of anxiety, worrying about why we hadn't received a notice when clearly the USCIS website told us how long the process was going to take. And just remember, every case is different. Every case is different. There's no case that's the same. My case with my fiance Nghia was nothing like anybody else's case that we know of, but yet everyone wants us to follow their advice. Along with that is that people exaggerate. They want you to think that their situation was somehow special, or they received favoritism or something like that, and it's not the truth. It's not real. Lastly, you just have to be patient, and you have to trust the posted USCIS processing times website. That is your best indication of how long this is going to take. Number 5, not taking the opportunity to over-deliver when you have a chance. And by that I mean there are certain requirements that you need to provide to the USCIS for your petition. If it asks for, let's say, 5 letters of recommendation, you give them 10. If they ask for 2 employment letters, you give them employment letters from your last 5 employers. If it asks for bank statements, instead of giving them 1 month or 2 months, you give them 6 months. You always want to over-deliver with the information that they requested so that, 1, they don't have to come back and ask you for more. Because if they ask you for more, you're going to lose a month with them deciding that they need more, another month with you gathering that information and submitting it to them, then another month with the intake of that information, and then going ahead and reviewing it. So you don't want to waste time doing that. You want to give them the amount of information that they ask for times 2, times 3, times 10 if you can. Here's mistake number 6 that you want to avoid. And this is something that happened to me early on, but then I caught wind of it and I started to prepare myself against it. So number 6 is you want to make sure you don't forget to keep digital scanned copies of all of your documents. Whether the mail is going in or out, any kind of correspondence, you want to keep a digital copy on your computer in one location. And you want to make sure that it's high res, that it's in a PDF format. Don't bother with images because images can get too large. And PDFs maintain the format of your document. Here's the thing about keeping scanned copies. Once you produce it, you'll never have to make it again. And when you're going through this process, you will find out that many of the forms and the documents and the exhibits that you have put together in the early stages of your K1, K2, and K3 visa process, you will need to reproduce or reuse those documents again in later forms like the I-465 or the I-765 or the I-130 or any other forms like that. So once you make it, you never have to make it again. So you always want to keep a high-res digital scanned PDF copy in a very, very safe place. And that safe place will be in the cloud. Why in the cloud? Because you want to make sure that wherever you are in the country, in the world, you can access those documents from the cloud. You can access them from your phone, from your computer, from your desktop, or from your laptop, as long as you store them in the cloud. And lastly, again, having those documents facilitates you being able to manage repetitive tasks that require the same exhibit, the same document to be used over and over and over and over and over again. Mistake number 7 that you want to avoid is you want to avoid making the mistake of not sharing your relationship with your friends, family, and coworkers early on in your relationship. And I'm going to tell you why this is really, really important. Because as proof that what you have is a bona fide relationship, that's real relationship as defined by the normal behavior, the normal activity, the normal events that tend to happen around a relationship. In order to conform to that, you need to give yourself the best chances possible of being accepted as a bona fide relationship. And the best way to do that is by sharing the beginnings of your relationship with everyone around you, and then sharing the evolution of that relationship as well, so that people will know when you first went to this country for a visit or that country for a visit. They will know that you hit it off with that person. They will know that you found that you guys had chemistry. They will know that you two have been talking via instant messenger or Facebook Messenger or WeChat or something like that for the last 5 months. They will know about these things. And it's important for your family, your friends, your coworkers, your colleagues, your business associates to know about this, because at some point in time, you may need to reach out to them and ask them to write a letter that you will use in your petition to confirm that you have a bona fide relationship. You'll need them to write a letter addressed to the USCIS, stating what they have experienced in you sharing your information with them. So let others see that your choice in a mate, a fiance, a girlfriend, boyfriend, let them see why you made that choice, and let them see that it's working for you. Let them experience the positive evolution of your relationship, and let them give their opinion about it, and start talking about, if you're a passport brother, start talking about passport brothers elsewhere that you've met along your path, or start talking about traditional women and how that's something that you're really into, and then those folks, those family, friends, and colleagues will incorporate that information into their letter to the USCIS as a reference or referral letter, and that makes it feel genuine. So you'll always want to invite everyone to write a referral letter for your USCIS petition. And those, my friends, are the 7 mistakes that you want to avoid when you are first starting your K1, K2, or K3 visa petition with the USCIS. Avoid those 7 mistakes, and you will stand a very good chance of having your petition go right through to the National Visa Center. Avoid those 7 mistakes, and you will stand a very good chance of having your petition go right through the USCIS and right to the National Visa Center, and then forwarded on to the U.S. consulate of the country of your fiance's hometown. So good luck. Please like and subscribe if you like what you've heard here today. I'm on a move to try to get to 5,000 subscribers by my birthday, March 19th. So please join, share the videos with other passport bros, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.